If you're working with $100, $300, or even $500 a month, there's one mistake that could be killing results before you even start. So my goal with this video is to walk you through my 5 simple steps to scale your Google ads profitably, even if you're starting with just a few $100s. Now, my name's Jackson and I'm the founder of one of the fastest growing Google ads agencies for e-commerce brands, where we've helped brands such as Tabs, Ovi, Crafted, Wine By Lamborghini, Arc in Amsterdam, Frank Body. We're coaches within Davey Fogarty's e-commerce community daily mentor. These brands we've mentored or managed, we've scaled to millions. The first step I want to talk about solves one of the biggest mistakes I see people make when setting up their ad campaigns, which is picking the wrong campaign structure. I know it's tempting, but you should avoid running search, display, shopping, and performance max campaigns all at once. Why? Because every successful campaign depends on one key thing, and that's data. If you spend a small budget across multiple campaign types, Google won't be able to gather enough data to learn who your best customer is, which means all your campaigns end up performing poorly. Trust me, I've been there and it's not worth it. So if you have a small budget, then I do suggest starting with just shopping ads. These are basically visual ads that show up in Google's shopping tab and they display your product's image, title, reviews, price, and seller name, which means that your potential customers can basically see the entire product right away. And it makes them much more likely to buy compared to something like a regular search ad. Now, you might have also heard people say to start with performance max campaigns, and these work great if you have a big budget. But the problem with a PMax campaign, especially if you have a small budget, is again, your money gets spread way too thin, because a PMax campaign covers YouTube, search, and shopping ads all at once, which makes scaling really hard. Plus, performance max needs at least 30 conversions in 30 days to work well. So if you don't already have a lot of data, it takes a long time to see real results. So me personally, I would save performance max for later. But right now, shopping ads will be enough to start making sales. But just because you run shopping ads does not mean you're now going to see results. So the next step is to scale your ads with a small budget, and it's to make sure you're doing competitor research as well. Now, the reason competitor research is so important is because if they have an ad that's doing well, it's likely not because it's a great product, but because of the strategy behind it. They've simply found out a formula for getting the right customers in front of their product. By using a similar structure, we can increase the chances of getting sales by following a proven strategy. And you can do this by searching for keywords and using Google's keyword planner to check search volume and competition. Let me show you what I mean. Now look at top of page bid, high range to compare costs. Use this as a pricing guide. If a keyword is too expensive, it may not be ideal for a small budget, but it can help you understand which keywords matter. Find cheaper keywords that still match your business goals and balance search volume with competition. And you want to avoid keywords that are too broad or too competitive. If a keyword is too cheap, there's often a reason. Find a right mix of popularity and affordability. General words like shoes get a lot of searches but cost too much and lead to low conversion. Instead, what you want to do is use specific buyer focused searches like men's running shoes size 10, size 12, size 13. This helps you get more relevant clicks without overspending. It also speeds up campaign optimization and lowers your cost per conversion. Examples include protein powder versus pre-workout supplements gold standard whey protein. Pre-workout gold standard whey protein had a lower cost per click, making it a better choice for small budgets. Long tail keywords, meaning specific phrases, often give a higher return on investment because they cost less. Now, just one more quick thing about competitors before we move on to the next step, and that's if you find a competitor selling the same product but cheaper, don't try and compete on price. You've got to stand out in other ways. Lowering your prices is not a long-term strategy and it just deflates your margins. Instead, you want to make every dollar count by things like branding. So make your product look more appealing, or bundling, offer extra value. For an example, buy one, get one free. But then you also have customer experience and past reviews. So provide better service than your competitors, get better reviews, put as much information within your GMC as possible so they know shipping only takes 4 days. Basically, being unique doesn't have to be complicated. You can do this by simply highlighting what makes your offer different or using eye-catching branding, taking better care of your customers. By focusing on these, you'll be able to outcompete customers without having to reduce your prices or killing your margins. So now competitive research is going to increase the chances of you making sales in the beginning. But unless you're optimizing your campaigns correctly, only focusing on the competition won't be enough to see those sort of long-term results. For that, you're going to need to optimize your Google Merchant Center. If you don't know what a GMC is, it is your Google Merchant Center. Think of it as like a digital catalog that tells Google everything about you, your business, the products you have, the prices, descriptions, all the way to photos to availability. It's like a menu board of your online store, Google reads to understand what you're selling. And it's more than just an ad platform at the end of the day. It also powers Google's free shopping organic listings. So by optimizing it, you'll be increasing the chances of your product being shown by Google to customers for both your paid and free listings. It might sound a bit complicated here, so let's walk through it together and I'll sort of show you how to optimize your Google Merchant Center. So the first step is to optimize shipping and returns. Go to GMC, your Google Merchant Center, then go to tools and settings, and then go to shipping and returns. You want to set up precise shipping rates, delivery times, and methods. You want to use courier or carrier calculated shipping for real-time costs if you're US, France based. Otherwise, you'll need to enter these details manually, making sure shipping rates match your website. Next, we want to tweak your return policies. So once again, go to the GMC, shipping and returns, and set return policies based on industry standards, and clearly define return windows, refund types, and return shipping coverage. And you want to ensure your return policy matches your website. Google checks for mismatches, and you will get a warning and potentially suspended if this information does not match on your GMC and your website. Then you want to optimize your product reviews. Use Google customer reviews or a third-party tool like Trustpilot and upload these ratings through Google's product ratings program. You want to encourage verified customers to leave reviews for credibility. Now, one last thing, especially if you're using Shopify for the website, is that you want to avoid using the feed you get from Shopify. The default titles and images don't work. I see so many stores using them, and it could be one of the biggest reasons why your ads aren't profitable. In fact, recently one of our clients' ads was underperforming significantly for this exact reason. This exact brand, by the way, came to us in Feb of last year, and since working with us, they've generated well over $5 million. Last month alone, $700,000. And all we really focused on was making simple tweaks like using custom labels, improving images based on competitive research, prioritizing the right campaigns, as I covered earlier. So at the end of the day, success with the GMC comes down to these simple fundamentals: adding the right business information, eye-catching product images, clear titles, descriptions that actually sell your products. You nail these basics and trust me, you'll instantly stand out from 90% of your competition who are just coasting through Google Ads and they're just using the default settings. Okay, so the next important step to scaling with a small budget is to track your numbers correctly. So you see, most people make the mistake thinking that Google is always going to give you complete and precise numbers, but sadly it's not true. Sometimes Google will count the same sale twice or mix up sales from people who found you through search with the sales from your ads. They mark it as branded, but it's actually non-branded, or it's non-branded and it marks it as branded. And this makes your campaign look more profitable than it actually is and can lead to overspending on ads, or you're going to spend more money on Google because you think it's really profitable, but it's actually not working that well. So before you even think about scaling your campaigns, there are 3 things that you need to check. Are your conversions being tracked correctly? Is Google counting any sales twice? Or do your Google Ads numbers match what you're seeing in your actual sales and actual bank account? Now, something else to remember is that Google Ads does take time. I see a lot of advertisers panic, a lot of brand owners get stressed when they don't see immediate results and start changing everything. Here's the thing: every time you make major changes, you're forcing Google to stop learning from scratch. Google's algorithm needs about 60 to 90 days to really understand who your best customers are and where to find them. So once you know you're tracking your numbers correctly and you followed the steps that I shared earlier, just relax. Give your campaigns time to gather enough data. And once you start seeing some results, it's time for our final setup, which is really to scale up your ads. So to do this, we're going to use my simple 3-step strategy that helps my clients consistently generate millions every single month. And this will still work even if you're on a small budget. First, you want to start with shopping ads. Why? Because these target people who are actively looking to buy products like yours. They're already done their research. They know what they want. And this means you're not wasting money on people who are just browsing. So secondly, once your shopping ads are profitable, then you can expand into search ads. And these show up at the very top of Google when people are searching for products like yours. The beauty of search ads is that they work hand in hand with your shopping ads. They're essentially doubling your presence for people who are already ready to buy. And finally, after you've mastered shopping and search, that's when you can start testing YouTube ads. And the reason why it's in this order, guys, is because YouTube helps build awareness for your brand, but you want to make sure when people visit your site, they're having a great experience and actually convert. That's why we optimize the bottom of funnel first. Hopefully these 5 steps give you a clear idea on how to scale your Google ads with a small budget. But if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments and then I'll go ahead and answer them when I'm free. Or go ahead and send me a DM on X or LinkedIn, our company page or my personal page. With that being said, you have a wonderful day. See you on the next video.